Hey, good evening, everybody. Sorry, I am having some technical difficulties getting online. I had a call earlier, but could not get on this evening. So, if you got here at 7, thank you, and I'm sorry that I am running a little bit late, but looks like our technical difficulties are resolved. And um, what I really want to do tonight is talk through what we're going to be doing going forward uh, to uh, to answer the question, where to start and what to do next. And a number of you have, whether it is our PLR or you have other people's PLR, or maybe you don't have any PLR, right? It is trying to figure out, what you're going to do um, to build the right kind of brand uh, to uh, to make sales that you like making. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to do that on a daily basis. Now, the system that I'm going to use in the background is going to be a GHL sub account. That's going to be the system that I will be using. But you can follow along however you like. And in fact, what I'm going to be doing is kind of as a parallel. Uh, I will be doing one system.io video per day, and I will use that to help you to teach your customers how to build their business. If you don't want to use System.io, you can just follow the free series that I'll be doing on YouTube. And if you have a JHL sub account, that's what you should be using. If you're an Ultimate Insider, that will be you get that as part of your insider benefits. So that should just kind of go right along with what you are doing. Um, I did have a bit of sort of wanted to do a little training, but we will not do that. I just kind of want to give you an idea of what is going to happen. Um, the one system.io video per day won't be an exact replica of what I do on YouTube. It's going to be a little more, it's going to be a little more tethered to that platform. But it is going to go in order. And so I think that I have done, for the most part, all that I really want to do in terms of teaching the platform, right? So, in terms of updates and things of that nature, I think that if you have any of the 7 volumes that I've already done, and you are using that to teach your customer, you have more than enough to teach them. Now, what I am going to be doing, though, will be a little more practical for you to use, for you to teach your customer. I'm just going to do it one one video at a time, and I will interrupt the series when I feel like we need to do strategy, and that's going to be part of this. I may on that day I may not do a step-by-step over-the-shoulder video. I may do a strategy video as I've done in the past. In terms of the overall structure, uh, uh, what I have done in the past, you probably have my 52-week series that I called Extreme Business Makeover. I did that back in 2021. It really does need to be updated. And so, what I have talked to Laurel about is that I'm going to update that and make that a book. And I'm going to make that available on probably Kindle and uh, and then give you a workbook that you can kind of follow along. So, because really, if you have that uh, series already, it's easy enough to redo with AI according to your niche. What I'd like to do is to update it and make it a little more evergreen and make it a little more practical to follow daily. And so that'll be the idea behind the workbook. So um, just in general, that's what we're going to be doing. We will start on Monday. Tomorrow, I will open up one System.io video per day to people who want to get started early with the verse video. And th this will probably be the last course that we'll be doing on Teachable. Um, I will be moving at some point. Again, I'm in negotiations with them. I hope that, these things go well, but it could be that I'm only going to have the Ultimate Insider membership over there. And um, they've kind of increased their pricing quite a bit, and then they've got a hard limit on on how much you can have over there. I think you can have a terabyte over there, and as you can imagine, I can sneeze and put a terabyte together. I've probably got more like 2 terabytes there, and so I'm not sure what they're going to do about that limit. We're trying to come to some resolution. I don't know if we're going to be able to, in order for them not to charge me more. Right. And yeah, I mean, I could easily put together, um, a terabyte. So, for them to say, and again, I don't blame them. I mean, they're in this to make money, and so I'm not going to begrudge them making any money. So, if they feel like they've got to put a hard limit on that. That's fine. I do have go high level, so I can just as easily move over there. Um, I have a lot of stuff already that's already on system.io. And so I could easily move a lot of past products over there with Laurel and Sydney's help. Um, I just I don't know if I want to be. Um, it really will depend, right? I may be long term with them. I may not be in terms of my own business because I have often said, I say to Ultimate Insiders and I say to you, you should be putting your customers into system. That you should reserve that to put new marketers into and train them on online business. Right. And that's really the reason. And so it's going to be a little more work for me to get all of our old stuff into high level from Teachable, but it really is what I have said uh, uh, you ought to do. And Laurel has agreed to do what she can to move everything over. So I'm not sure when all that's going to be done. I do know that new products after um, our 4th of July sale on next Friday, right? New products after that will not be in Teachable. That is what I do know. So again, probably the only thing I'm going to keep over there is going to be um, our Ultimate Insider membership, right? So that's and so we're working out the logistics of that. What that's going to look like, I don't know yet, um, but I will, right? I will know that very soon. So you can kind of hang on for that. Um, One thing that I will say, and I'm gonna kind of close out here, is and I was talking to the Ultimate Insiders about this, is that um, there are 2 areas that I want to spend the rest of 2025 and well into 2026 giving you content to teach your customers in areas that may not necessarily be hot sellers at the start. And I'll tell you why that is. Um, uh, one of the goals, I think we've been successful in giving you a base level of content so that you have credibility in your library, right, as in the learning center. But now, in order to make a coaching offer, right? Um, would you be comfortable making a coaching offer? Well, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. And so everyone is out solving, and I don't intend to create another solution for you to solve an AI problem, right? There are tons of people out there doing that, and you're going to do that. I'm going to continue to do AI video courses, so you'll have that stuff in your library. I don't know whether that's what the problem that you want to be uniquely ready to solve. And so there are 2 areas. Number one, building a community, whatever you want to call that. Uh, the market seems to be going in that direction. A lot of people know how to sell a community, but do you have the ability to teach your customer how to how to build a community, right? Can you teach them that? Can you show them that? And we are, both Laurel and I, we are uniquely positioned to do that for you. And it doesn't take a PhD to do that, but we are doing our research in that area. So we can put together content and materials for you to go out and for you to sell yourself as a community consultant. That's what we're going to be doing with our Ultimate Insiders. I may or may not make that available to the public. So that may only be available in the paywall, and it's going to take a long time for me to do. Um, but we are again, we are uniquely position, and it just so happens, I wish I could say that I planned this when when we started out in our graduate program. We sort of chose the topics that we chose. The topics chose us. So Laurel, um, from a very early point, chose how to create a religious community online, right? So how do churches create communities? You may not be religious, you may not be into churches, but she's going to be able to talk to you about what the research says about how you build community. She will be able to speak uniquely about that. What we will also be doing in the background is, and we will make this part public, we are going to interview everyone that we possibly can who is already doing it. So not only we will be getting the academic research, but to also get people who are actually doing it and to really just share that information as we would we would. Uh so Laurel's research is building a religious or a church community. So that's what her dissertation is on. And she's actually been working on that since the beginning of the program that we started in, I think, 2022. It's now 2025. I will be doing, um, and you've heard me talk about this, uh, um, online communities for what are called necessity entrepreneurs, right? That is my research. So necessity entrepreneurs they have a certain way in which they do business. They have certain similarities regardless of where you are in the process. And again, it sounds very academic. It doesn't really sound exciting, but I think that is where you will be able to be you will be able to provide the most value in the future. Now, if you try to sell that today, you might not be able to make sales of this today. You might not be able to take what I'm giving you. If I gave you a PLR package, and that's why um, I may not even sell it as PLR, right? Because it just may need to be something that I give to you as an ultimate insider, if you are signed up, because I don't know that you're going to be able to run out and just make an offer at that, right? And I'm not even going to pretend like you are, but people, um, there are enough people in the marketplace who can do AI, right? Again, we're going to continue to do AI content for those of you who all want AI PLR. We're going to continue to do that, right? But I'm saying to you is, we're going to provide for you this level of content, which I think positions you for the future, not today, right? So this is not necessarily now to some degree, if you know somebody that wants a community to be built, I see a lot of people talk about school communities, and what I see is basically direct response communities, direct response done in a community, right? In the school community. And so there are ways other than that. And I don't know how long those are going to last, but if you have somebody that's really motivated, they're going to be able to get the most out of those communities. Um, but 80% of the people that you deal with, they're not yet motivated yet. They don't really even know how to be motivated. And you want to have those people, you want to be able to bring those people into communities, allow them to pay you, and then to really be able to help them. I said this to the Ultimate Insiders on the call at 6. Part of what I think that you will benefit from doing is having a framework. There are three frameworks. One that is called the theory of constraints, which you've heard me talk about and seen kind of in passing. And it's basically taking your customer through a process where you define what their biggest bottleneck is and helping them to understand when they understand what that is, how can they work through whatever conflicts they have to work through in order to solve one bottleneck at a time. As a coach, that's where most of your customers are, even if that's not where they think they are. Most people who enter information marketing think they have a marketing problem. They don't. They have, or a technical problem. Most of your customers who require your assistance do not have a technical problem. In other words, it's not something that they need to learn how to do Facebook ads or YouTube or something like that. That's what they think the problem is. Most people that you're going to encounter in your coaching program, especially those of you who are coaching business students, their problem is adaptive, is how they can adapt to a certain situation. And so, this adaptive problem that they have, you can help them to solve it basically using the theory of constraints. It's going to take me a long time, number one, for me to show you how to solve your own problems. And number two, for you to solve then a customer's problem. Now, you're not just going to run out when I show you this and just start, you know, consulting with it. You need to understand the entire system. And again, I'm not going to not do PLR, but this is important. And this is kind of, I guess, what we have been building toward ever since 2020 when we got started are these two processes. And one is building a community because we talked about building a learning center for the last 2.5 years. But where AI has kind of taken us is the the library or the learning center is fundamental. You have to have that. It's not even a question. And so and so that's kind of almost in the background. That's like the entry level, right? If you're going to build and you're going to do recurring income, you have to be able to do that. But you also need to have some way to get people connected, some way. That I think is going to separate you from people who can just teach AI. Because the 80% of the people, 80% of the people cannot take advantage of all the knowledge that you're giving them on AI. 80%. 20% motivated. It wouldn't matter if it was AI, it wouldn't matter what it was. Whatever came along, they would have been able to make it work. But 80% of the people, they're not going to be able to take advantage of it, even if you teach it to them. And I know that sounds bad to say, but it's just true. And so what do you do with the 80%? Well, you train them and you show them and you lead them basically. And I will give you the material to lead them. And again, I'm not going to make that available outside of being an ultimate insider because it's not sellable. You can't walk out and just kind of sell it. But you have to know it. You have to be able to put it in your own business. And for some people, they don't have time for it, right? But I'll promise you this. If you work through your own business and you work through one bottleneck at a time and you learn how to do that, and you learn the process of doing that, you will then be able to do that and replicate that in somebody else's business. And 80% of the business you run, you could be able to solve their problem significantly if you understand this. And that is what we are going to be doing. But in terms of our and so again that's all going to be behind the Ultimate Insider group, right? That's what's going to happen over there. In terms of what I do publicly, right? The GHL series, this is all technical, all technical. How to, what to do, steps you got to take. But I will say that if it turns out to be that you're going through the steps and or you're not going through all the steps and you're trying to figure out why you don't, you probably need to go through the process of determining what your biggest bottleneck is. And it takes more courage to do that than it does anything else. Because you have to be able to confront the fact that You may like to buy stuff like, I want to buy something on how to do Facebook ads, when really what you got to do is learn how to sell, right? That may be your biggest bottleneck. You may not have ever wanted to confront that. And so part of the theory of constraints is bringing you to your core problem, is asking why and working with a person to get them down. And most of the time, it brings people to the point to something they never want to do. They don't want to do it. They never want to do it, but it's holding them back, right? And it could be a core skill. It could be the fact that they refuse to outsource. It could be the fact that, they just refuse to turn over something. It could be the fact that they don't want to do a product launch. They want to rely on whatever it is. It's really getting down to helping your customer figure out what their bottleneck is. So again, I would encourage you that if you're not an Ultimate Insider, you sign up to be one. But if not, then this series that I do free on YouTube is going to help you, right? You're going to build out your business. You're going to use GHL, and if you don't want, if you're a System.io user, then you will get the one System.io video per day. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's a paid course, obviously, and I'm going to do that one video at a time. And so you take the step, and again, you teach it the same way to your customer. Um, what I will probably do, and I did talk to Sydney about this, is that if you don't have a place to sell it, what I may do is to make a sub account available to you. Uh, um, and if I can figure out the pricing for that, right? So let's say that you don't want to build out your own System.io deal, um, or you don't have a subscription. I may put something together for you just for this series. So we're thinking through that part of it. I don't know about that yet, but we may do that also. But that's really it, guys. If you have any questions, again, I'm sorry for being late. I tried to get here and could not, and so we are just getting here late, and so it's 7:30 when it should be 7:15, and that's my fault. So again, I appreciate you all hanging out. If you have any questions, please feel free to write me into support. One big change that we have made is that my daughter, Sydney, is the first voice you will hear in support. And Sydney is the person that Sydney is the person that put together our whole support system. So, um, and it's kind of funny. She came back and she said, "Dad, you haven't really done anything. You haven't done much with this since I left." So I said, "Yeah, that's true." So, um, but she's going to be taking over support. So when you write in, she's going to be able to kind of whatever if it's something she can take care of fast, she will take care of it, right? And she'll be able to get to you faster than I will. So we're excited about that. She's probably going to be doing her own product line. Sydney is a music teacher, and she taught in Philadelphia. Um, for those of y'all who heard of Kensington, right? Not a pleasant place to be. So she was almost like a little on mission there, right? And she was teaching there in Kensington, and then she got ill, and but she's going to be putting together um, some I think some PLR for you to be able to resell, if you want to teach your children or you want to sell the people who want to teach their children music, and so that is what she's going to be doing with us. Okay, so again, once again, I am really sorry for being late here. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write me. And again, Sydney will be the first person that you hear. She'll be able to pass on anything that requires my attention. Let me see if there are any questions here. Uh, uh, yeah. Oh, well, Laurel's just going to train, and it's going to be it'll kind of be ongoing. I'm going to have to. She's going to do maybe one night. It may be monthly, it may be weekly. I'm not sure. But she's going to be talking about community writ large. right? I may do some sessions in their community. I'm going to be teaching um, on uh, uh, theory of constraints. It's probably going to start after Insider Day. So we're going to do a virtual retreat for Ultimate Insiders. End of June, end of July. After that will be the printable summit, right? Business printables, and I'm thinking 1st of August. So it's now beginning of July. So beginning of August is when we are looking at starting, and so yeah, yep. Oh yeah. So George's question is, what's the difference between a Facebook community and a school community? Good question. For you as the person hosting the community, obvious difference is that school's 99 a month, right? So there's that. Now it does have a community, it does have an affiliate program, but the affiliate program is not necessarily congruous to um I think what you're trying to do. So I don't know that they have an affiliate that you can sell your community as an affiliate yet. Now I need to take another look at that. At the point in time when I did the course, you could sell the school affiliate program, but that person would be selling school and not necessarily selling your community as an affiliate. So that to me was incongruous. It may not be the case. You can sell community in system. However, the platform is not necessarily all that robust in as it would be in school. All of that being said, though, um, when you talk about running a community, it's really more about you, the leader, than it is about about. But okay, let me kind of get back to your question. Your question is, what's the difference? The question is, school is its own platform. It's like Go High Level. It's got a bunch of communities together. So you have your own space on school, to which you pay school $99 a month. And it's got all the stuff. It's got all the bells and whistles that you need in order to run a community. It's got automations. It's got all that stuff, right? So it's got its own learning curve, obviously. You can have interactions. You can run threaded communities. You can put courses in there. Uh, so that and a Facebook community, obviously, you don't cost anything. Now, I will caution you though, this week, and I think it was algorithm driven. Facebook eliminated a good 4 million people out of their communities this week. They just got rid of them, and I don't know why. I think what someone said was that um, there was something um, someone did something to trigger their algorithm to eliminate this for whatever reason. It wasn't necessarily Facebook driven, but but they did it, and then Facebook wiped out a bunch of groups. Now mine was not wiped out, but I'm not very active in my Facebook group anyway. But so I don't think that a Facebook group is a bad option these days. I do think it is limited. I do think it is manual, and you still do have to keep up with people before you boot them out of there, and it's distracting, and so I don't necessarily like uh, um, the distraction that if you're paying for school and you're going to be next to a bunch of communities like yours on the same platform, that I do not necessarily like, but maybe it doesn't affect anything, right? It may not affect anything, but that part I don't like with school, George, but again, with school you are paying for a service, and the service that you're paying for is for them to get your community and keep it running. Now you have to obviously do the marketing, you got to do the engagement, you got to put people in there, you got to run it. But I don't think that it is any. Uh, I don't know that it's any better or worse than anything that you have. Now you do have that capacity in your Go High Level account, right? As a sub account. You can run a community there. Is it the same as school? I don't know, right? I've not done a comparison, but we will be working with that platform in the free series. So there's that. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Yeah. Insider days. Yeah. I'm not sure the exact date. Uh, I think it is the fourth week in July is what I'm looking at. Fourth week in July, and I'll have the exact days um soon. I'm going to be filling in for my senior pastor from the 5th through the 16th, and it'll be after that. And then it'll be before the 30th when we do business apprenticles, which is kind of like a summit. And rather than drag it out over weeks, I didn't necessarily like the way I did that. Uh, we're just going to do it all in one go, right? I might pre-record the sessions, and we might just do them all in one go. Um, I really want those sessions to be audio and not necessarily video only if necessary, because um, then I think people are more apt to consume it, right? If they can do it by audio. So that's kind of where my thinking is about that. Okay, well, this will be covered in one of your how to set up the graphics and build the funnel. Yeah, in GHL, yes. I will cover that. Um, I will definitely be covering that, right? How to set up the funnel because um, if you're just if you're just uh uh if you're just if you're doing just our PLR, we do have our sales pages that are over there in the same way that they are in system. They're also in Go High Level, right? And so you could take that same page and you can make the same kind of edits that I showed last week in the insider call, right? So it's not like you have to have a new template. If you have one template, you have all of them, right? So yeah, it's the same set of muscles that you build in order to do those templates that you did with System.io templates. And I will say this about the funnel in GHL. When you say a funnel in GHL, uh, 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 you would only use the funnel if you decide to hook up Stripe to their system. Now, what I will be doing and what I will be demonstrating is now that there is a direct connection with Warrior Plus, I'm going to use Warrior Plus to teach this process because that's what I use. And so I will be showing you that. And so really the movement from offer to offer happens inside of Warrior Plus and not inside of GHL. Yeah, and so Santu, yes, JHL is now connected to Warrior Plus, right? So you can set your product up there, and I think I did a demonstration of that a little while back, but I can't remember. Um, Actually, in Georgia, in answer to your question, um, uh, Go High Level now has bulk upload. So now they have done something that System.io has not done, and that is the ability to upload all your videos in one shot. So So you really don't need me, right? I mean, you don't need me necessarily to upload the videos for you because now you can upload them in one effort, and now the sales pages, quite honestly, um, are editable one template for one template. And so I will demonstrate that in the course, right? All the uploading now is is one shot, right? So you go to upload it to the media library. You can upload 20 at a time, 30 at a time. They upload to the media library, and you just put those in the course, whatever course you want to put them in, you put them in there, right? It's a lot easier. They made it a lot easier to do. So so yeah. All right. Okay, very good. Any other questions? All right. Well, you're welcome, George. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, everybody, again, I am sorry for being late. You know, uh, Technology is great when it works, as they say. Uh, but I like to just take this opportunity every time that we end out. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all being here with us. Continue to support us. Continue to buy our products. Continue to be Ultimate Insiders. All of that stuff. We appreciate you, and we are here to help. We're here to serve you, and we will do the best we can to help you to get to recurring income. That's why we do what we do, and so that is what we are here for, and we're going to be doing more of that, and hopefully doing it at a higher level now, than we have done before, with our with all with all of our pedigree, right? With all of our graduate studies. But it's ironic. I think it really will help you in some of these areas that, quite honestly, you're you may not be able to sell what we're teaching, but you will be coaching. But as a coach, you will be effective, and you will be confident in being able to go into a business, ask a few questions, and make an impact. That I can tell you, you will be able to do. It's just going to take me a while to do. Could I give you a book? If I gave you a book that told you all this stuff, human nature is you would never do it. You just will not. So we're going to do this a little bit at a time, and we're going to do this, and we're just going to take our time. We're going to answer your questions, and we're going to apply it, show you how to apply it in your own business, and you will be positioned to do something that I'm going to say most of the marketers that you're competing with will not be able to do. And again, I mean, we will continue with AI. You'll have all that. Um, but what I'm going to be teaching you, you're not going to hear this. You're not going to hear this elsewhere. And you will be able to get on a call, and you'll be able to tell your customers, hey, you know what I'm going to teach you, nobody's going to be telling you this. And that's you'll be able to tell, you'll be saying the same thing I'm telling you right now. Once you understand theory of constraints, you will have something that is so valuable that no one's going to take the time to invest, if you will stick with it, and let me teach you this, as long as it takes me to teach you. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me here. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.